feel like I never give an introduction. Like, I'm like terrible at this. But also, because I'd literally just be one of. This is like a way for me to practice on being vulnerable and like start saying stuff that's in my head instead of just keeping it in there. I mean, I do journal, but I don't journal as much anymore. And then sometimes it's like when I do journal, like I don't journal in the moment as I feel stuff. Like sometimes, like, because I could be thinking about something like while I'm out or something, and then I don't write it down immediately, like because I'm not home, like I don't have my journal with me. So it's like, and then I might forget to do it, like it might still be like, and then now it's like a thought that's pushed in my back of my head until it get moved to the front again. But so that's, I'm like, I don't usually write as I feel sometimes. So that's why I'm like, sometimes I try to make videos more so like I make them as I feel. That's why I don't do them all the time. But I'm like, I never do an introduction like, hey, it's me, y'all. Hey, it's me, like, which I really need to do like a proper video. But I'm like, ain't nobody watching me. This is really just for me. But if people start watching me, then I might do like a proper like introduction video of me. But anyways, the point of this was to basically talk about like how I remember, because it just came in my head like literally not that long ago, like 10 seconds ago. Oh, how I used to get so offended, like, of being called, like, certain adjectives, like, boring, like, certain stuff. That I'm like, now, I'm like, I generally don't care. Like, I am in a position where it's, like, now, where I'm, like, so tired of, like, overperforming. And I feel like over the years, I've felt like I've had to perform to, like, please other people's, like, perception of me, like, or to uphold, like, a certain perception. Like, I feel like certain points, no, like, because I feel like in high school I was kind of like whatever, like, especially because the girl was going through stuff. I'm young, I'm like, girl, I don't care what y'all got going on, I don't care about y'all opinions, whatever. But when I would actually hear people's opinions, I feel like I would try to like change that narrative, and I'm like, for what? Like, I honestly didn't care to begin with, but now because I heard it, it's like I feel like I have to like change something, or like as if I'm doing something wrong, as in who I am, when it's like, no, like if you feel like that's who I am, then cool. And if that's not what you want me to be, then go be around somebody who personality you want to be around. Like, it's as simple as that. But with me, it's like, I remember I used to get so offended. I know they did not just knock on that wall, but I used to get so offended when people would call me boring. I'm like, now I'm like, I don't care. Like, generally. I'm like, what is she doing? Like, I don't like housekeeping. Like, please get from my door. But I generally would get offended when people call me boring. I'm like, I generally don't care now. Like, because I am. Like, as I think about it, I am. Like, I am, but I'm not. Like, I feel like my personality, once you actually get to know me, like, I'm funny. Like, I'm funny, and I feel like I'm funny to be around. And I give great ass advice, even if I don't take it myself. But usually I'm like, you're not gonna get my personality and who I am as soon as you meet me. Like, so that's when you first meet me, you might think I'm mean, you might think I'm standoffish, you might think I'm rude, you might think I'm stuck up, you might think I'm boring. Like, and I think that's understandable because of how I know I am, but I know that's not the truth. So it's like when certain people come at me, or you might think I'm like serious, which I am in a certain ways, but also very not. Like, I'm also very childish, like where I laugh at very stupid stuff, or I watch certain content I watch is very kiddish, like not, yeah, kind of like pre-teenish, like it's like sometimes, like, so it's like I am, but I'm not. Like, I'm serious in ways because life is very serious. It's not serious, but it's like certain circumstances and stuff that goes on that's very serious, but it's not serious at the same time. Like, um, because it's a simulation. Like, this shit, it's not real, but like it is. Like, people's lives are affected by different stuff all the time. But anyways, I'm like, yeah, I would literally get offended by like certain stuff where I'm like, I really don't care. Like, now. So it's like being called boring. I'm like, some of the stuff I'm like, I am that, but like not in the way that you're saying it, not like a straight shot way. Like, it's more like in ways I am, but like I'm also other ways too. Like, yes, I can be boring at times. There's times where I want to just be in my bed, rub my feet together, and watch YouTube videos, or listen to music, or read. Like, or there's other times where it's like, if I go out, like, and if I have heels on, I'm not dancing. Like, usually I like dancing. Like, I hate when other people go like to clubs and stuff and don't dance, because I'm like, why are you here? Like, you can go like somewhere else and just chill and like smoke and drink. Like you don't need to be at a club just in a way. However, if I have on heels or like I'm uncomfortable with my outfit after a certain like period of time and I don't feel like dancing because of that, I'm not going to. Like I'm not gonna try to force myself to because don't want to be perceived as boring. Like because no, like I don't care. Like because me is comfort over anything for me. I feel like because if I'm not comfortable, it's gonna not even change my mood because I can still be in a decent mood, but it's gonna change how I act depending on that day, like or how I like operate. Like I said, as an example, if I got heels on, my feet hurt or my legs hurt or something itching, it's like I'm not gonna be able to go about how I would like in a different circumstance. Like if I didn't had that on, like or whatever case may be, or if I was a little drunker or less drunker, like whatever case may be, I'm gonna act a little different. But same thing with like I feel like school or like working type of environments where it's like, oh, if I didn't get as much sleep last night, I don't feel like talking. Or even if I just simply don't feel like talking or don't feel like smiling constantly, like to make y'all happy. Like I remember I used to serve and it's like I literally got told by my manager, I wasn't even there that long, I was there for a couple months. But she was like, oh, you look like you don't want to be here, like smile more. I'm like, when the customers would come in, I would greet them and smile. But I'm not gonna sit here and smile on my whole fucking shift. Like, just to please you. Like, I'm a server girl, not a robot. Like, what am I smiling literally for hours of the day for? For what? When customers come in, I do smile and I do say hello. Like I greet them. Like they haven't had no complaints as far as me, or at least I don't know of, like of me, you know, being rude or me not having customer service because I have manners. Like I know to give customer service, like hi, how are you doing? Like smile. Like it's like I know how to do that. Like, but I'm not gonna smile the whole shift. Like or smile the whole time customers are inside the restaurant. Like that doesn't make sense. Like I don't need to do that. And if you're tipping me based off that, I don't want your tip. Like you should be tipping based off the service I give you. Like I've been like that when I was a server. So it's like it's the same thing I feel like in life too, where it's just like I'm not gonna like act a certain way to like please you. Like I'm not gonna force myself to talk to like, because I feel like in spaces like, especially when people don't know you, it's like they try to fill like the air with a bunch of questions or a bunch of like unnecessary comments just to not make it awkward. But that's making it awkward for me now because it's now I'm forcing myself to talk, and then now where I just go completely silent because I'm done like forcing myself to not. I'm forcing myself to not have you think of this certain type of person that I am as being like rude or something, like when I don't need to do that because I know that's not reality. Like if you think that that's what you're projecting on me, but I know that's not reality, I'm simply just like, oh, I don't feel like talking, so I'm not about to keep forcing myself to come up with questions or keep dragging conversations that I don't really care for or that's not necessary just to fill up air, like empty air, like or to make you less awkward. Like no, like because now I'm making myself awkward to make you less awkward. Like no. So it's just like now I'm like I'm really, I mean I've been came to the realization, but like now I'm like really trying to get out of the habit where it's like where I be in my mind constantly and overthinking about it, where I'm just like, oh, you need to do this, like do that or do that, like or force like kind of pushing myself to do certain stuff like in certain aspects, like where it's like not necessary. Like other times, yes, I do think you should try like where I know me and I know how I am, where it's like yeah, in certain areas I know I need to put more effort into, but it's other times where I'm like no, like I'm just forcing myself to like be a certain way, like so people don't think certain stuff of me, like or don't think I'm being this or being that, when it's like if you think that, you think that, like you gonna think that regardless. And if you think that you projecting, like if you, especially if you don't ask or have a conversation with me, but it's like a habit. So like I've been recently trying to break out of that. Like I've been getting that realization, but now I'm like actually trying to get out of the habit where I'm like I don't have to do it. Like if it's something that's like, you know, not harming anybody, like, you know, or if it's not something that is just necessary, like I don't need to do it. Like, and this is mainly pertaining to talking. Like I feel like I'd be forcing myself to talk to people even when I don't want to, and it's just like I don't have to do that. Like yes, I know sometimes I have to make effort to like get to know people and like be vulnerable as well, but it's other times where it's like no, like now I just stop because it's like now we're just feeling empty air because it's quiet, and I'm like I'm doing it to please you, to make you less awkward. I'm good in silence, you're not, and that's why you're just coming up with stuff to say randomly where it's just like I don't even want to talk about that, or I don't even know what you're talking about, like, or I probably already told you, like no. I'm not doing it no more. But now I'm like, I let people kind of feel how they feel, think how they think. Some of it might be true, some of it might be false, some of it might be a mix, like, of you right, but you also wrong, because I'm also that. Like, I'm not one-dimensional, I don't think, but you also got to get to know me to know that, but and not just based off first-hand conversations, like, especially because how I am, I feel like I'm socially awkward, but it also depends on the person, the day, the mood I'm in. It just depends. Like I said, I don't think I'm one-dimensional. It just depends on a whole bunch of different stuff, but yeah, I'm just like, now I'm like, I'm cooling, I'm boring, like, I'm weird, like, because there's certain stuff I do that I can understand it being weird to other people. So be it. Like, I totally understand it, but in my head, it's not weird. Like, and that's just what it is. Now, I'm not weird in a way where it's like I do grimy stuff. Like, no, but like where it's just like very like, okay, no, you're like wrong. Like, yeah, that's weird in like that type of way. But it's other ways where I feel like my mind works that other people just don't. Like, so I'm like, it's always gonna be something. But yeah, I'm grown now, and I don't have to kind of tiptoe around. I'm like trying like harder now to not do that, where I don't have to tiptoe around other people's emotions and other people's thoughts and other people's like judgments or perspectives. Like, it's hard, but I've definitely been trying to do it more, where I like literally be in my brain where I'm like, okay, you don't have to do that, or stop doing that. Like, their emotions are not yours. Like, which I never took on people emotions fully. Like, I always give empathy, but I never like took on all of their feelings anyway. But it's like I still would like more so take on stuff that's not being said. Like, where it's like, oh, is they thinking that? Is they thinking this? Like, and I'm taking on like, or I feel like that, or I'm like, and now I get to assume it and jump into conclusions. Like, and I'm like, I don't need to do that. Like, because they probably not even thinking that. They might probably not even feeling like that. But even if they are, it's like, it's not your problem to deal with, especially if it's not addressed to you. So yeah, that's basically, yeah, I definitely need to hurry up and leave, so I shouldn't even be here doing this anymore. But yeah.